Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us yesterday and today. And I'm Julie Atherton with Jam Collective, and I'm really excited to introduce James from IceMule. Hi, James.
Hey, Julie, how are you?
I'm great. It's nice to see you.
You too.
Thanks for joining. We can't wait to hear about what IceMule's up to.
We've got a few new things to show you. We're excited to tell you about it.
Oh, great. What are you going to start with?
Well, do we have the slides or those?
Oh,
There
here
we
we
are.
come.
Oh,
there
yeah.
We go.
So yeah, a couple new things in 2022. So IceMule's never been in the hydration business, but we've been asked to be in that business by a lot of people, a lot of dealers, a lot of customers. And so the question was, if we were going to get into that business, what were we going to do that was going to kind of fix some of the issues that we've seen and some of the problems that we've had in the past with other products. And so this is just a view of kind of how the branding looks. If you go to the next picture, I can give you some more detail. So you'll see on the left-hand side, we're going to start with a sports bottle and with the tumbler. We showed these against the medium classic IceMule just to show you that the silhouette is designed to actually fit right into the IceMule family. We designed this so that it would be a perfect fit. Same IceMule colors, as you can see the colorways on the right and the left. And the design, it should be reminiscent of the cooler itself. But in addition to that, on the sports bottle particularly, this is a 32-ounce sports bottle, and I use a 32-ounce sports bottle every single day. And the one thing that I just don't like about it, and I've heard this over and over again from a lot of people, is just that it won't fit inside a cup holder. And so that seemed like a pretty easy fix. We simply needed to make it a bit taller. It's not like a keg stand. I mean, it's not that tall, but you know, it fits nicely inside a cup holder. It's a bit taller, but it's just such a convenient feature. The other thing, if you go to the next slide, I can show you this. The other thing that we did that I really like is, you know, we wanted to be able to have a detachable handle on this so that we could loop it around any kind of thing that we wanted to attach it to, a belt, a cooler, your boat, whatever, you know, without having to have a separate carabiner on it. And so it seemed like just an easy way to do things. And for IceMule, a lot of our kind of ethos is hands-free. We want to be able to kind of go outside, explore it, and still have our hands free to do other things. And so this just fit right in that kind of brand design kind of imperative that we've got with almost everything that we do. So that's the hydration line. We're going to start with the tumbler and the sports bottle, and we're super excited about this. Should be coming out mid-year next year.
Oh, that's really exciting. It makes so much sense for the brand. And I love that handle. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, the handle's sick. I love it. I can't wait to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in addition to that, I think we've got a bunch of new colorways we want to show you for our traditional coolers. This is something you know, another thing that kind of makes us a little bit different is IceMule is kind of, you know, it's kind of like the, you know, the iPod of coolers. We have a big variety of colors, and people are always asking us for more. And the nice thing about that is they can kind of become collectible. We have a lot of people that have multiple IceMules all in different colors and they use it for different occasions, and they just like having the new colors. So a couple of things to show you. One, we had kind of a early release of this. This is a marine blue. This is 15-liter classic. For those of you who don't know IceMule, this is essentially our core design. It's an insulated dry bag design, which makes it a terrific cooler. All IceMules are portable. This is a classic. It's single shoulder strap carry. It fits across the shoulders. It's a sling. So we got the new marine blue. We also came out with our own camo this year, or we're coming out with this next year. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're getting a lot of attention into this already. Particularly down here in the Southeast where we are, down in Florida. This is going to be, I think, a massive hit. We've got a lot of people asking if that could be sold now. I got 2 emails from friends today saying, hey, where's the camo cooler? I need it for Christmas. I'm like, well, maybe next Christmas. The Jaunt, which we introduced a couple of years ago, is one of our fastest selling products. This essentially is an upgraded classic. This is 9 liters. It has 2 backpack straps. And this is the DeVoe 3. This is the 3rd design we've done with a local artist named Claire DeVoe. Claire is super cool. We commissioned these pieces of art for her and we put them on the coolers. And this is a 3rd one that she's done for us. And she just epitomizes kind of our brand. She's a mom, she's a surfer, she's super rad, and she makes these beautiful designs for us. So we're super excited about that one. And then we have one more coming out in the spring, which is in our Pro series. Most of our Pros are very dark, very technical looking, black, gray, that kind of thing. But we're coming out with this one in the spring, which is a Realtree Wave 3 pattern, which is just really bright and fun. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have. A lot of people are excited about this as well. 2 more real quick. I know we've only got a few minutes. but we're going to do 2 extra releases in the fall. And this is really, these are kind of by popular demand. Our most requested color for the classic is black, believe it or not. So we're doing the classic in black. No problem with this as far as sunlight hitting it and attracting more heat. It performs exactly the same as all of our other classics. We keep ice for 24 hours or more. Super easy to carry. And then for Memorial Day through probably Veterans Day, we're going to do a limited release of this bad boy right here. So we're super excited about
Perfect.
this. This is just going to be a ton of fun. We've gotten so many commitments from large key accounts for this already, like all doors. It's just people are going nuts over this already. So
Name
we're
one for
pretty
me.
excited about it. I know everybody wants one.
Everyone.
This is the other thing. This is the other thing I keep getting emails about. I'm like, everybody just settle down. It'll be
Yeah.
here in March.
You know, something I think it would be great to tell everybody about is your inspiration behind starting the brand, but also I don't think people realize the technical design that goes
Sure.
into IceMule.
Yeah, I'll kind of give you a few pointers there. So as far as the inspiration goes, I'll try to make this short. Many years ago, I was taking a young woman out on a date, which for me, I wanted to go on a hike in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We lived in Virginia at the time. And I wanted to carry cooler with, some water and some sandwiches on ice so that we could have a picnic. And I was trying to be impressive, and I couldn't find a cooler that wouldn't leak everywhere. So I did what a lot of people do. I took my day pack, I threw a couple of trash bags in it, filled it full of ice, threw all the stuff in there, and off we went. And it's an 80, 85-degree day in the summer in August in Virginia. The ice melted, the bag broke, water rushed down the back of my pants. I looked like a schmuck. She took pity on me, married me anyway, a few years later. And so we've been married for 20 years now, but that's what started the whole thing. Then I had a whole different career in banking and consulting, but I kind of came back to this 10 years ago, and just happy that I did. So as far as the design goes, let me kind of give you a quick lesson. So there are a few fundamental things that all IceMule share. So the first is our material we call it mule skin. It's super durable. It's an embossed material. Inside and out, and that's to allow it to be to reduce abrasion. So you can put bottles in this and feel very comfortable. They're not going to rip anything. It's super, super tough. Everything is welded together. This is all RF welded together. There's no sewing anywhere here except for this very top strap, and that's for strength. And then we do a weld line below that because the insulation that's in here can't get wet. If the insulation gets wet, it fouls the cooler. But one thing that you can do with an IceMule that you can't do with other coolers is we have this air valve. This air valve exists on every cooler. It's called the IceMule air valve. It has 2 utility patents. This allows you to add air to the cooler, which increases the insulation because air is a pretty good insulator, but it also allows you to open the air valve, compress the cooler, roll it up, force all that excess air out of it. It'll roll up and then you close it. It just holds its shape and you can throw it in your suitcase and travel with it. So unlike other coolers, IceMule is probably the best traveled cooler in the world. We have pictures of IceMules on every continent. It's cool. I think we have one more.
That's
Speaking
great.
of the air valve, I think we have one more thing to show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is a news story, I think. So this is embargoed, by the way, y'all. So nobody talk about this till we give the green the thumbs up on this. But one question we get a lot is why can't we have a clear cooler? Because we go into all these venues, these concerts, sports teams practices that they require clear bags. And of course, my thinking was, well, insulation is opaque. You can't have a clear cooler. And then I just mentioned to you that air is a pretty good insulator. So I started thinking about it, and I started doing more and more research on the thermodynamics of kind of air versus foam insulation. And what I discovered was that air is about a quarter as good an insulator from an R value standpoint, which is a measure of heat conductivity through fabric or through material. It's about a fourth as good as what we use standard in the classic cooler or the jaunt. And so if those would keep ice for 24 hours plus, then an air insulated cooler should last long enough for a ball game or for a concert, a few hours, 6 hours, up to 6 hours with ice in it, even in the Florida sun, and we've tested this. So this is the world's first and only transparent cooler suitable for all those venues where you can only take a clear bag. It's air insulated, and the air insulation is variable because you can add as much or as little as you need, depending on how long you're going to need the ice to last. And that's only available because we have our patented air valve. No one else could actually have this technology to make this cooler. So we've been going out and kind of having conversations with a lot of large key accounts, and everybody is super stoked about this. We're getting lots of big commitments. No one can believe it, really. It's kind of, I think it's going to be kind of a game changer for us. It's going to be super fun to do. So we haven't got a release date yet or pricing exactly yet. I do expect probably a mid-year release, maybe as early as May. So we're pretty excited about this.
Yeah, so many great possibilities for this.
Yeah, plus it just looks cool.
And yeah, plus it just looks cool. So even if I don't go to a big concert venue, I'm still going to want to use this for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so great. We still have some time. I would love to hear more about how the backpack aspect of the coolers work and how you came into having a technical backpack as well.
Yeah. So that's another good point. So let me, there's a lot of, when we first started, there were literally no backpack coolers as far as I know. But our kind of design imperative always was, I wanted to be able to carry a cooler wherever I went, which meant if I was going to go on a long hike, or if I was going to go, paddle boarding, or if I was going to go, or boating or whatever, or just walking to the beach, I wanted the cooler to carry like a technical backpack. So, the imperative there was it had to kind of sit center back. It had to have the proper weight distribution off of the shoulders. The classics are pretty easy because the across the shoulder strap really does a very good job of that, and the design, the way we've designed the cylinder, but also the bottom so that it fits flat against your back, works very well for that. But when it came to the larger coolers and the backpack straps, we actually created suspensions, and I've got more technical bags around here that have more technical suspensions. But in this case, for the Boss, padded back straps, ventilated back pads, this carries extremely comfortably. When I first designed this product, that was going back to the very beginning, 10 years ago. We were living in North Carolina, and I hiked a local mountain, not a huge hike, not a very technical hike, but hard enough on a hot summer day. And we got to the summit of the mountain, and it was a busy day, a lot of people on the trail. And I can tell you, I was the only person up there with 24 ice cold beers, when everyone else had tepid water. So, and I honestly haven't carried that many packs that distance before as comfortably. And we've got, as I said, we've got more technical packs than that. We were just testing a new design today, very heavy pack, with a butterfly strap that we use on our Traveler, which is a really interesting way. It's like a golf bag strap. It's a really interesting way to carry a more of an oblong size product. And so it's remarkable when you take the weight off of one shoulder, or you distribute the weight on your shoulders with the sternum strap, and you get the weight distribution correct in the suspension, you can carry a cooler just like you would carry a heavy pack for the same distance. And no one else, as far as I can tell, no one else approaches cooler design that way. Most people make coolers and they throw straps on them. We make technical backpacks that are coolers. And that's, I think, a very important difference about how we approach our design in our production.
Yeah, I agree. That is an important difference, because I don't think a lot of people are familiar with that. Oh, we have a question. Is there a cooler in the line that's closer to a hard-sided cooler?
There are a couple. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Let me just grab one real quick. So this is the Traveler. So this is designed to be kind of a hard cooler replacement. This is a traditional kind of size and shape. This is the cooler that you actually carry with that butterfly strap. There are straps here, but there are 4 attachment points around here, and you actually carry this with a butterfly strap or a golf bag strap. And that product is 35 liters, pop open top like that, so you can get into and out of it very easily. But this is a nice hard cooler replacement. This will keep ice for 48 hours. And then there's one more called, there's one more called the Boss as far as ice retention difference. The one that I just grabbed is actually a version we make for the military. So it's going to look a little different.
Cool.
But this is the
We
Boss.
have about 30 seconds left.
Yep. This is military version Boss. the consumer version of this was just named Gear Junkie 2021 Cooler of the Year, and we say that'll keep ice for multiple days. We try not to say too many because I've gotten 90 hours of ice out of that, but other people may have a very different experience. So when Gear Junkie tested it, they got over 110 hours, I think. So from an ice retention standpoint, you can have a backpack cooler that can keep ice for several days.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks, James. That's really cool. Thanks for
Yep.
joining us today. I appreciate your time and walking us through all those really cool products. And if anybody has a question for James or specifically about IceMule, feel free to get in touch via the media page.